Aerosol Therapeutics, the safer, greener choice. Aerosol Therapeutics is not affiliated in any way with the Colorado Association. This is K-High Radio. If you happen to be listening and you have not partaken in any weed, that's your fault. You're missing out on the fun.
And a good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of K-High Zone. Let's hash it out. I am your temporary host, Big Len. For those of you that have never heard me or don't know of me, I'm the program director for K-High and Let's Talk Pot.com. Miranda, the lovely Miss Miranda Wrights, was actually all set to do her show live from the 2015 Cannabis Expo live from the Colorado Springs Event Center, and then a funny thing happened. Well, actually, don't know if it's funny or not, but nevertheless, she is on her way to the studio. A little bit of an issue, nothing major. Just a lot of, hey, I'm freaking out, I'm a little frazzled. I'm like that, and I said, look, you don't have time. You really don't have time to be frazzled. I need you to get your butt here. Just stay calm. Get here. Don't get in any accidents, and we'll take care of you. We'll be okay. You know what I mean? Gotta look out for each other. Anyway, you can, as always, you can check us out on letstalkpot.com. Phone lines are open at 591-5874 or 591-KUSH. Or you can just go to the YouTube.com YouTube feed. Just go to youtube.com, type in K-High. That's K space high, and there you'll be able to check out all of our video shows, including the one that's on right now. Yeah, I know, folks. A lot of you were expecting the the luscious locks and the nice and the nice looking face of Miranda Wrights. She's not here yet. Just trust me on that. She's not here yet, but she is on the way. And I don't know. I consider myself somewhat of a nice guy. Said, you know what? I'm not doing anything for the next little bit. Besides, I want to get up away from my desk. So I said, what the heck? I'll cover. I'll cover for a little bit. Anyway, as I said before, the 2015 Cannabis Expo is up and running, and it's live from the Colorado Springs Event Center. I'm currently trying to get a hold of one of the members of K-High that are down there, whether it be Dust WP, whether it be J-Dub, or maybe even the guy that runs the Wake and Bake Morning Show. Our main guy, our favorite functioning stoner, Bubba Cushman. Apparently, Gil King sort of has somewhat of a crush on him. Hey, look! Don't look at me. Don't look at me, and don't look at your laptop like, hey, the hell's that about? Look, you're gonna have to ask him. I don't know. I have no clue. But apparently, they might be trying to, get something going there. Anyway, the number is simple: 591-5874. That's 591-KUSH. Again, Miranda Wrights on her way here. In fact, I believe I see her getting out of the van right now. So I tell you what, she's if she's nothing else, she is definitely a perfectionist. She is one that wants to be able to do it and do all things right. And I can tell you this much: when I got the phone call from her from down at the expo, she said, "I don't know if I'm going to do this." I'm like, "Yeah, you'll be fine." She said, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do this. I don't know. I'm having a panic attack." I'm like, just get here, okay? If you can get here, then the rest will be taken care of. All the problems will be solved from there. So, nevertheless, she should be walking through the door in just a bit. I know for sure coming up within the program, we're going to try to get a live check-in from the 2015 Cannabis Expo. Apparently, the entire crew is down there. Bubba Cushman is there. The Cannabeer is there. Jim, Lady J, Colorado No, the entire crew from the Wake and Bake Morning Show. They are down there. Casey Stark and Charlie Hockman. They're down there. In fact, Charles Hockman, the cannabis business attorney, just had from what I hear, a pretty awesome speech while he was down there at 11:30 today. And I'm not sure if you just noticed, within the confines of the YouTube feed. Yes, Miranda has shown up. Take your time. Don't sweat it. Pretend like we're not here. Here, right? Just pretend like you're setting up. You're okay. You're good. Yeah, I know you're sweating. It's all good. But it's like I told you before in previous conversations. When I end up doing a show, I end up setting it up my own way. And one thing I always did was I kept the lights off. For one thing, I'm black. They can barely see me through the damn YouTube feed as of right now. But number two was a comforting thing. So hopefully that works out for you. But once you get set up,
I like it.
Yeah,
it's soothing.
Yeah, once you get set up in here, I mean, hell, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, most of the guys are going to be down there. DJ Chris Diablo is already down there. He's been spinning pretty much the entire time. The entire We Pet Nation is down there. So make sure you get down there, check them out. Say hi, say what's up. Go check out some of the awesome products that are set up. And it's my understanding it's a who's who of vendors down there. So should be good going on today and going on tomorrow. So make sure you're a part of that. Make sure you are aware of that. And if you have a friend or buddy that partakes, make sure they're a part of that as well. So it's all good. Couple of stories that popped up on the Facebook page. If I may be so bold and just go ahead and go through some of them now. It looks like this movement that people are speaking of is starting to pick up a little bit of steam, especially in the borough of Brooklyn, New York, courtesy of High Times Magazine. Downtown Brooklyn keyword may, house New York's first pot dispensary. Paleotech, a company vying for one of New York State's limited marijuana licenses, has announced that it has signed a lease in Brooklyn for a dispensary that could open as soon as January. The lease is for 3,000 square feet, second floor space on Fulton Street between Pearl and J Streets, but it's contingent on Paleotech winning one of the 5 coveted licenses. So long story short, New York State is issuing 5 licenses. That's it, just 5. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, why just 5? I mean, for God's sakes, it's New York. Well, New York, if I'm understanding it correctly, was a hell no state. There's a difference between a no state. You got those states that go, you know what, hey, that's cool, but no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it right now. New York was one of those states that said, hell no. It's kind of like Indiana. Hell no. We're not even, no, we're God-fearing Christians.
It's kind of like what Vegas did.
Yeah, not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Well, they've buckled a little bit. They said, okay, we'll give you 5. I know a lot of people went, what? I said, really? I mean, come on, can we get like 500? No, you get 5. And Paleotech is one of the companies that's vying for one of the 5 dispensaries. Now, the good thing about that is that if they do win, and let's face it, folks, it's a lottery. If they do win one of those 5 coveted licenses, they already have a building set. They already have someone set in regards to placement and what they're actually going to do with it. So it could be a good thing. I guess the number one thing I would ask is, well, what if you're number 6 on that list of 5? If you're number 6 on that list of 5, then like we say back in the hood, you SOL, so out of luck.
Isn't that going to cause a monopoly?
Possibly. Wait a minute. In what sense?
Having only limited to only 5 companies or 5 businesses, 5 licenses. I mean,
it would. I don't think it would necessarily cause a monopoly, but I mean, it all depends. It all depends on how it's
how are those 5
on how it's taken.
How are those 5 people picked?
That's the thing. Is it a random draw? Is it money? Is it things of that nature? Because I can see where you're coming from.
I'm pretty sure it was a money thing. I heard something about this not too long ago, a few weeks ago.
Right.
And don't quote me on it, but I remember them saying something about a lot of the people were complaining because I want to say it was a money thing.
Right.
So if you had the most money to be able to, buy that spot, then you can control that. Well, everybody knows that the rich get what they want. You know what I mean? Well, to an extent, at least.
Kind of like radio here, money talks. Well, I wanted to show me check.
Hey, cash is always better.
It is.
So, But I'm just saying, so if you're limiting it to only people that can afford it,
Mhm.
then you're already kind of scrutinizing the rest of the population because they don't have the money to, it's not like their idea isn't good enough or their idea might be even better. They just can't pay for it.
Would you say screwing it up for everybody else, or is it a possibility that New York is saying, you know what, it's a trial thing. We still got a bunch of people within our realms that are saying, no. So this is merely just something to prove that, okay, if these 5 work, it's good, then we can unleash the hounds on the rest of it. Could it be a safety thing for them, or is it truly a case of, next year we're gonna allow 5 more money talks?
I think that it's not a safety thing, simply because if you're going to think of it in the grander scheme that way, and you're going to say, okay, well, we're going to put 5 businesses out there, we're going to test it, see how those 5 businesses work. Okay, well, New York City is huge. It is ridiculous amount of people. Okay, so you're not going to get an accurate, information, or you're not going to get anything proven right, because you're going to try to condense all of those people to those 5 spots. So you're going to have, 5 times the likelihood of a problem happening, 5 times the likelihood of a riot happening, or a fight breaking out or something, because you're compacting that many more people into a certain spot. You know what I mean?
Sure, I get that. I get that wholeheartedly. I guess the point I was looking at was, if this was a case to where it was like Colorado, and let's face it, in Colorado, with the exception of a few counties and a few congressmen, pretty much anything goes. It's sort of the Wild Wild West here. If it was like that and it basically said money talks and we had just the 5 out there, I can see your point. But I'm also looking at it from the entire state of New York, going, you know what? Well, at first we were a hell no state. Now we're saying, okay, let's try it. Give us a little bit of room. Give us a little bit of time just to say, okay, does this work? Is this going to work? And can we expand it from there? So I'm willing to go with them and say that. Not everybody out there, not every state is going to go out there and say, you know what, we're not going to go just from absolute hell no to okay, perfectly legal.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to happen. Too many cooks in that kitchen. Too many issues that could arise. So I give props to New York State for at least allowing it to be tried. At least allowing the attempt to be there without any harm or issue. Now, if those first 5 do go to a money talks thing and it goes to the highest bidder, and then it happens again, now you're looking at somewhat of an issue. Now you're looking at, okay, who's cooking books here? That's the part where that's the part of which we didn't want to partake in. That's the part where we looked at and said, you know what, this is what we thought was going to happen before.
Do you know how they said anything about how they're going to control all of that? Because I know just here in Colorado, the first day that we went legal, there was lines around the block.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So imagine that times what, 50 for New York?
Well, yeah, number 1 market. Yeah, you expect it. Same token, would you have that anywhere? Like you said, little old Colorado Springs, when we opened up the first dispensary, there's a line around the block.
Well, that's what I mean. And so being a place like New York, where it is so big,
right,
I would think that they would take that into consideration, unless it's like 1 per, how it's broken into, like Manhattan, and you have like
1 per borough.
Yeah, something like that. Or is it, where are they all close to each other?
That's an idea.
You know what I mean?
That's an idea. I think here's the deal there, because Paliatech, like you said, they're already have their spot. So they're basically, in a sense, going in reverse. They are saying, we have the spot. Go ahead and let's get the license done. Whereas I'm thinking for all of the other ones, they're saying, let's get the license first, and then we go and get the spot. So Paliatech is actually going in reverse, and I give them credit for that, because again, that leads to the possibility of, okay, what if I don't get it? If I don't get it, now I'm literally nuts and bolts screwed, and now the only way I can see that working out is if they hadn't put pen to paper yet in regards to the actual property itself. I'm thinking in that case, just overall, with Paliatech wanting to put one in Brooklyn, they're probably looking at the other 4. And let's say they do get it, and they get it in Brooklyn. They're probably looking at the other 4, and they're saying, okay, this one's in Brooklyn. I would strongly suggest, I can't make you, but I would strongly suggest you put yours in the Bronx. I would strongly suggest you put yours in downtown Manhattan. I strongly suggest you put yours in Long Island.
Spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, you're going to have to be able to spread it out so that people can have somewhat of an even keel. Now, will it work that way? We don't know. We are hoping that it works that way.
I don't know. I crowd control. Just thinking about it from a person who, you know, goes to a club that there's a lot of people, or a concert where
Sure.
there's a lot of people or something. When you have something so condensed into one spot like that, and you have so many people that are going to want it, that's kind of, you're taking a big risk doing that.
Yeah, I mean, same token, New York State taking a big risk
And doing it in the first place.
and doing it in the first place.
That's a good point. Very good point.
I mean, that's the one. Those are the things we got. Those are the things we got to look at. Those are the small victories that you have to celebrate.
It's definitely a step in the right direction, at least.
At least-
I mean, at least they're starting to at least acknowledge it and think about it.
Yeah,
Going
yeah.
forward with it and not be so, you know, closed-minded to the whole thing.
Here's one that literally befuddles me, and I'm not sure if you or any of the group have covered it within this past week, but it's Republican governor out of Louisiana, Bobby Jindal, says if he is elected, I'm not sure whether it was president or whatever the case may be, but I'm thinking if he's elected president, he wants to literally sit down and take a good look at the entire marijuana policy nationally. In other words, he wants to look at the federal law and say, okay, is there a way around this? I don't think he's one of those guys that wants to say, okay, let's just go ahead and make it legal. After all, I hate to say it, after all, he's Republican, he's conservative. He's one of those guys. But he is a guy that's saying, let's take a look at it. I can't promise you anything, but let's take a look at it and see if there's a workaround in that regard. That's what you want to do in a situation like that. I guess the thing that kind of befuddles me and shocks me about Governor Bobby Jindal was this was a guy whom, quite frankly, the Republican Party looked towards to combat and or rebuke anything that President Obama had out as far as a policy or things of that nature. He was one that kind of looked at everything and said, "Whoa, wait a minute." There was always if you ever noticed with the State of the Union address, and it, forgive me, I just kind of picked up on it a couple of years ago, especially after Obama was elected. Every time he had a State of the Union address, there was always a Republican answer. And for most of those Republican answers, they went to Bobby Jindal. And Bobby Jindal was one of those guys that just kind of, I don't want to say he was completely opposite of what Obama did, but he always threw another alternative out there. Republicans loved him for it. And now he is probably the ugliest woman at prom now, because that's the only way I can describe it. He's the ugliest woman at prom now, because he's a conservative Republican that has said, hey, let's take a look at the policy. And all the other conservatives went, what?
Yeah, all the other Republicans.
Sorry, baby girl.
All the other Republicans looking at it are libertarian and Tea Party leaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to see a conservative Republican in the South coming out and saying, okay, well, look at it. He's scoring points because he's kind of a crazy kook at the party, you know.
And in a weird way, yeah. And that's it. And that's the other thing you got to look at. Conservative Republican from the South.
Yeah.
And you had the nerve to stand up and say, you know what, let's take a look at this policy.
Right.
I'm surprised no one slapped you. Or if they did, you didn't get caught on camera. But either way, these are, to me, these are the incredibly small pseudo wins, if you want to call it, because you don't necessarily have people saying yes, but you got people saying, let's take a look at it.
That's all that we really want for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're never saying, you know, come to our side is better. You're wrong. We're right.
Come to
It's
the dark side.
exactly. You know,
Sure,
it's all a matter of, hey, just listen to what we got to say.
That's it.
You make up your own mind.
Bill passed in Georgia actually this year, Haley's Hope Act, that allows oil up to 5% THC for adults and children with certain conditions. I mean, that was, and with a commission on in-state growing. So it's not the best bill, but that was a win where people had come in, lobbyists have come in and said, there's no way you're going to get anything with THC in it.
Right.
And parents fought back, patients fought back, and they got some THC allowance. So, you know, it's limited, but it's a pseudo win.
Yeah, I mean, and that's and in the end, that's all you want. It's almost kind of like a salesman's creed. You never want your customer to say no. You want them to say maybe, because you know if you get them to say maybe, that's a yes.
Yep.
You got them the rest of the way.
It's a long sell too. You know what I mean?
Incredibly long sell. I mean, this has been going on. I mean, for Colorado, it's been going on for multiple years, and so just to be able to have Colorado say yes and have it run for a couple of years, we're already in the forefront, and now you got others going forward as well. But when we get back, I promise I'll let the ladies take over. Whatever subjects on our pretty little head, she'll have it going. In the meantime, 719-591-KUSH, 591-5874. This is Hash It Out on KHI at Let'sTalkPot.com.
Seriously, I had to do like 2 turns because my Apple Maps was lagging.
I'm so afraid that I'm gonna run out of gas when I leave here because I didn't want to stop and then be even more late. And so like I just came straight here like I'm on a highway.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much too for saving me so much. Like today's been a hot mess.
Me
I about
too.
freaked out earlier.
I believe it.
Me too, honey. I know, and I like nobody's answering me about tickets, and all of a sudden I find out there's a Parents for Pot booth there. Thank God for Ashley Weber. But like it's my organization. I'm in town, and I'm going to this thing, and I didn't know I had a fucking booth.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Well, no, because I was supposed to be planting today, and I was like, okay, so I can go dog her a bit, you know. And
Well, we have to go there after this, so we can go to get them. Oh, I'm so mad. I had so much stuff I wanted to do there.
I know.
so what do you want to do?
So what happened?
So we were trying to find the soundboard, the USB
The
board
USB
thing or
soundboard.
whatever.
Okay.
And I had 2 different people tell me they were on the way to come down there. So I was waiting for them to get there, and then they just last minute couldn't do it. And then I'm driving to go up to my house so that I can at least change because I still wasn't even dressed. I was down there in green sweatpants this morning. Yeah, it was interesting. Trying to get everything situated, and then I get up to my house so I could change, and then my dad has to leave to go pick up his medicine and stuff. So I had to wait till he could get back to even go anywhere.
Sure.
And it's been a hot mess. I left, and then I forgot my debit card at my house. I had to turn around again, and it's just.
You just had a day.
I haven't even smoked any pie yet.
Dude.
I think that's what it is. I need to medicate before I murder somebody.
Seriously, I have my favorite, I think.
Really?
I think I do.
I even hauled ass, and like I pulled the little screeching tire sound and everything in the parking lot at the 420 speakeasy, right? I'm pounding on the door like, Travis, you better either
In
answer.
the minivan.
It's not a minivan. I do not drive a minivan, okay? It might be a
I'm
mommy
sorry.
mobile.
I'm sorry. I'm
It
sorry.
is a mommy mobile,
I'm
but
sorry.
it is not a minivan.
It's a crossover.
I had a Mazda 5. I was like, it's not a minivan. I looked all over the place.
Hey, I'm 40. I'll rock a minivan.
So I'm pounding on the door, hoping for Travis to answer the door. Call President's like, you need to call him, tell him to answer right now. She's like, he's over here. Everybody's here. I'm like, oh my God, you got me. Kidding me?
It's because none of them are working. That's why. They're all just, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, we're serious. We got shit to do.
All of the shirts we made, they just got messed up. It's a whole big thing.
I didn't even know where this place was. I could find an Apple Maps, and I'm like, well, I'm just not going. I almost seriously like changed my clothes and was like, I'm gonna go play. I never went to an event.
She's
And I
over here
met the
text-
people for shit.
She's over here texting me like, where is this expo? I'm like, are you serious?
You know what? I actually had to look it up. I actually had to look it up because I knew there was a few like expo centers, this and other. I just know the door.
I feel like I'm stupid. This is not cool.
Steve? Do you hate that because you're all stuck?
We don't have the tacos talking about Obama. We talk about how many days in a row you can stay.
Come on, girl, bring this. Or you want me to?
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Miss Miranda Rice. You're listening to Let's Hash It Out on KHI Radio, your one and only marijuana station. That's letstalkpot.com. Don't forget that you can check us out on YouTube. You go to youtube.com and subscribe to KHI. That's K space high. And there you can be able to check out all of the shows going on, including the live feed that is happening right now.
I officially have no job. You just did that good. I'm leaving.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll be here all week trying to VO. You're good.
I
You're
got
good.
used to having to step over Trey's dog, but sometimes that I can't help it. It's a boy in the room, and I just, you have the lights off, you blend.
Oh!
He said it first, not me. He said it first, not me.
I'm gonna let that black joke go because you're cute. That's
Oh,
okay.
come on. You know I love
The
it.
Please.
chocolate biceps joke again that we got
Oh,
yesterday.
What the
I said
hell?
chocolate muscles.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh, wow.
right.
Flatter me all you want. That's cool. I'm good. I'll take whatever I can get right now. That's all good. All right. So, you know, where we start? Where do you want to go? Or first and foremost, did you want to did you want to kind of touch on what happened down at the Exo? Because it sounds like you've had a day.
I always have quite the days.
Yeah,
You know, I can't make
yeah.
this stuff up. I really wish somebody with the TV crew could just follow me around and just record a day in the life. Because you know what? That'd be like the greatest Lifetime movie ever.
It's the industry, dude.
It
You know
is.
how many people are writing books? Seriously. So many of us, because it's a trip.
It just, I don't know. It just started from the moment I woke up. Literally, the moment I woke up. It's not even cool.
The most surreal stuff too. It's like if it's gonna the bad stuff.
Yeah. You know, basically, we're just having trouble with getting the soundboard.
Yeah.
Well, I was texting and messaging everybody, calling it the USB soundboard thing, because I don't know what it is called. And I'm hitting up all my DJ friends, and they're like, "Are you talking about a mixer?" I'm like, "I don't know, the thing with the knobs and the buttons and shit. I don't know. I just needed to make it work. Just somebody make it work."
Yeah.
But next time we'll figure it out.
Of
Next time.
course, it's always a good time for next time.
But I did get there this morning. I don't really know what's all up there now, but from when I was there helping set up, there was quite a few cool looking stuff going on. I got to see Anderson Cooks that was there with doing glass blowing and stuff like that. Saw AJ Hashman, everybody's favorite Hashman and Eggs guy.
Yeah.
I saw the Weed Pimps, of course, they had their booths going up.
Mhm.
There was I can't remember how to say it. It's Scion something. I can't remember. I'm not even gonna say it because now I'm gonna sound retarded. But there was some cool stuff getting set up. So
Okay.
there's
There's
that.
a Parents for Pot booth as
Yes.
well. I found out this morning.
Yes.
So stop in, see us at Parents for Pot.
And if you can't recognize that voice, this is the Tori LaChapelle here in the building with us. Look, I can't even talk. I'm starting. I got gum in my mouth. I got a big pen.
Oh, honey, you need to work it. You need to medicate it.
I need a drink.
You need a drink.
Now we're talking.
Man,
What?
I did have a glass of wine like 10 a.m. But that was to finish the bottle from last night.
there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta throw it away.
You know, you
You're cleaning up the kitchen counter. You gotta get rid of all the junk.
you can't leave just one swig in there. That's
Oh.
not good.
That's what happened yesterday. I showed up at President's house like, "You still have my margaritas?" She goes, "Oh, honey, those are gone."
Oh,
Yes.
She said, "I had those for breakfast."
Well, you know, I'm acclimating here, right? I forgot that it takes much less alcohol than I'm used to.
Yep.
The same effects.
Oh,
so yeah, and I need to drink more water.
I haven't been anywhere really where there's a whole like elevation change or any of that stuff. I'm a Colorado girl. I've stayed in the Four Corners. I moved to Texas for a year, but that was right smack dab in the middle of Texas where there ain't shit.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I mean, you drive from here to there, it's 14 hours, and 10 of those hours is Texas.
Nice.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I thought Kansas was bad.
Oh. No. Nothing against anybody if you live in Texas and you listen to us out there in Texas. We love you. But me, I'm a Colorado girl. I can't do it.
I'm sure they probably agree. It's like, yeah, there's nothing there for like 10 hours.
You know, my friend Terry actually, she's become one of my greatest friends in the world, but she made fun of me so much when we were down there because she talks so country and I'm so city compared to them.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out one day and she said, "Hey, you want to go roading?"
Yeah.
Roading. And I
Alright.
remember texting her like, "What is roading? Like, are you talking about mudding?" She's like, No, roading." I'm like, what the hell is roading? Like,
Next to mud.
yeah, and no, she said it was different. She said, just drive around, let's go cruise and smoke. I'm like, oh, so you want to just go cruise? Then?
So a roadie.
Goes, right?
See,
But-
Wisconsin, roadie.
But yes, Texas isn't for me. She's wanting to go wander in the back, paths and fields and all that junk, and I'm over here like, I got GPS on my phone. We are not lost.
Well, out there though, you get all Texas Chainsaw Massacre when you get lost. You know?
Hey, don't do that. Don't. Apparently, now this is a bad.
Was that even in Texas?
Huh?
Was that even in Texas?
It's a movie, that's all I know.
Well, apparently, according to the legend of my wife's family, whose maiden name is Hewitt, apparently the last name of the guy that performed Texas Chainsaw Massacre was Hewitt. So, for some crazy indirect thing, if it's true, I'm now related to the guy who did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm from the same place as Ed Gein, the guy that inspired Psycho and Jeffrey Dahmer.
I got
Awesome.
one better for that.
Yeah,
You guys see Where the Hills Have Eyes?
yeah.
That's where I'm from.
Nice.
Nice.
Right? That's like, well, it's not the same town. It's like 2 towns over, 1 town over.
So
But still, it's just as bad.
we all come from twisted places.
Always. Well, I mean, me, I'm from Pittsburgh. I mean, it's a,
Oh,
Boo.
hey,
yeah.
It's a drinking town with a football problem.
No, let me tell you now.
You can't complain
But
about
the
that.
Pennsylvania advocates in the cannabis world are my absolute favorite. Those mama bears are the toughest, and they don't take crap from anybody.
No.
No. they
That's
do.
like Presence. The first time I ever saw her, and actually before I ever met her in person, I saw a video of her, and she was literally fist pumping the sky, like yelling, raging at people. And I'm like, what? This woman is crazy. But then I found out, of course, it's for her son and everything. I'm like, get him, girl.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, then you talk to her, and she's like, oh, but I'm just hanging out. And it's, wow.
Oh, it's Philly girls. It's Philly girls. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they're definitely nuts here. But speaking of Colorado girl, a year and a half after retail pot sales in Colorado, changed it. Activists have decided to take the concept of legal weed to the next level by campaigning to allow social pot consumption in businesses where booze is served. Organizers behind the 2012 passing of A64 are hoping to get a new initiative on the ballot in Denver's election this November that would allow voters to decide whether people should be permitted to smoke weed in specific commercial dwellings such as bars and restaurants. The concept behind the measure, entitled the Limited Social Marijuana Consumption Initiative, to mark the name, is to give bars and restaurants the freedom to use a portion of their establishment for cannabis consumption. It is their belief, since bars and clubs allow patrons to consume alcohol, they should also permit the use of the state's newly legal inebriant for recreational tokers. Ladies, thoughts?
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Thank
like
God.
that.
Thank God.
I freaking like that. At first, I was going to say, hold on, wait a minute. But then afterward, I'm like, that is freaking genius. Who was that? Who did that?
Courtesy of High Times Magazine. It's the it's the Limited Social Marijuana Consumption Initiative, and if all goes well, it should be on the ballot this November.
I think that is brilliant, because you know what? That just proves the exact same thing that I was talking about last week, where I was in my kitchen with my husband and my family, and all the guys are out drinking beers and they're pouring shots, but then they were getting ready to go roll blunt, and they take it outside. Let's move it, because my son came into the kitchen.
Okay.
And I stopped my husband and I went, wait. This is that situation. This is where we need to make that choice as parents and as adults.
Right.
If we're gonna move, you're gonna go take the weed out of the other room and go, handle it somewhere else and hide it, make it seem like a secret, which we all know everybody wants to know what's up with the secret. Then we need to be doing the same thing with that beer that you're walking around with in your hand, these shots that are poured right here on the countertop, where our kids are over here with their cups and stuff, drinking, pretending to play, nothing harmful or anything, but that's that same mental factor where we had to sit there and I had to think about it. And everybody kind of looked at me like you said, like I had two heads, and I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Well, it's all about being, a responsible substance use and education. And if you're going to be you want to teach your kids to be responsible with alcohol. Same thing about cannabis. You can't teach them to be responsible if you're hiding it. Then you're hiding the truth.
I think there may be some other factors now, but we'll get to that. We got somebody on the line at 591-5874 or 591. Kush, who's on the line? Chris from Bay City. Okay, look, last time we spoke, you were still in Bay City saying you were coming out here. Where are you?
We are on I-80. We're just up there in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Go
Good
fast.
job.
Go fast.
We are excited. We are so excited that you're coming. You have no idea. I bet. I can only imagine. Well, it is a gorgeous day outside today. You guys definitely look. You guys got sunshine on your shoulder, man. That is good luck all day.
Beautiful. The skies are clear. The roads are smooth. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You sound so happy. That is so cool.
I'm happy as heck. I can't lie. We need your voice.
Oh, we feel your pain, brother. We feel your pain. We'll help you out as soon as you get here. Don't worry. So, who else did you bring with you?
Me, my mother's real brother, and his fiance.
That's cool. So, how did you say? Is there only one girl then, or is there two ladies? Two girls. Okay, cool.
Yep. So you have people to hang out with, and we can hang out with the weekends or whatever.
Because that's a normal thing, we just
That's what we do.
so as soon as you get to Colorado border, okay, where's the nearest bathroom? Where are the weed pimps?
Yep.
That's all it is.
Pretty much.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, sounds like you're close, man. Can't wait for you guys to get out here. We were just talking about Denver's newest initiative that would allow consumption of cannabis and marijuana in bars and restaurants. Your thoughts on that?
I think that's all right. I seen that a couple days ago on Facebook that you guys were putting up the initiative for that. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think there's room for all. I know the ladies were talking about it, said, hey, it's a pretty genius move. I like it as well. But getting back to some of the things that you were saying, like that, and I hear you in regards to, keep the mentality the same. If you're gonna hide your weed, then you bet hide your alcohol.
I like the idea.
Or vice versa. Here's my thought on it.
Well, can I finish that real quick? Just because I wanted to finish. I'm not done
sure.
Yet. Sorry. So, well, no, I think it's a great idea that we have to have the same mindset about it. But I don't necessarily think that they both need to be put out there like that at the same time together. Just because I think that together, that's just going to cause a whole bigger, ordeal. Because it's going to come.
Responsible parenting. You know what I mean?
So I think maybe not for restaurants and stuff like that, because there's other people there. There's people, kids, younger people, whatever.
Sure.
You don't want to influence other people like that. But I think as far as having it to be okay, and when you go outside into the smoking section, absolutely. You know what I mean?
We're just in bars for 21 and over. I totally agree with that. But like you're saying, like restaurants and stuff. Yeah.
Well, they're going to have an issue with secondhand smoke, though. I mean, that's the reason that they went with the tobacco bans. So I can see that, something like the speakeasy and stuff being legalized statewide, smoking, cannabis lounges. But I don't know if we'll see alcohol and smoking mixed if there's a secondhand smoke issue. Because even where I come from in Madison, they're banning vaping indoors. They ban smoking.
Well, and
tobacco.
that's the whole point that I'm trying to say is that people don't even, just because cigarettes are allowed, there's still so many people that don't like it, they don't want somebody else smoking while they're trying to eat their food. It's a whole big thing. So I think that the way they have cigarettes secluded to an outdoor area, a separate, spot,
right.
Designated spot, then it's fine. And if you want to have it at least, be known that you can, use your cannabis in a designated area, just like if you were to have cigarettes, and that's fine, because generally 9 times out of 10, if you're a cigarette smoker, you're not going to give a shit about somebody smoking a joint.
Right.
Yeah,
you're not.
No doubt.
Now, Brian Vicente, the second pen in the initiative, he believes the plan offers a better solution than the ideas offered up by lawmakers involving private cannabis clubs. It can sometimes be difficult to locate authorized areas to use cannabis, especially for tourists. That was his thought. However, opposing forces are skeptical about heading down the path to public consumption. Earlier this week, Gina Carbone, a spokeswoman with Smart Colorado, the group that attempted to sabotage A64, said that she's concerned about the implications the group's latest initiative would have on the community, saying, quote, the thoughts of it being used in restaurants and bars and places where kids can see this, it's very disturbing. Your thoughts on that? Because I think all three of you kind of touched on it, and to an extent, I kind of looked at it as well. I said, hey, it's a great initiative, it's a great move. However, I would be a little perturbed if I went to a local Old Chicago's and I was there with my daughters and I was there with my granddaughter and I saw somebody token up on the next table. I'm going to ask to move.
Absolutely, I think that it's definitely a great idea as far as an eye opener, and as far as a campaign towards awareness.
Right.
You know what I mean? But as far as trying to go through with something like that, I don't think that's the direction it should go.
Right. And the problem is individual.
Yeah. So that you gotta tell people know where they're at.
Well, right. And I think what they need to look at too is limiting what's, you'd hate to say you can limit local government, but they're like dry counties still in Colorado, and tourists don't know that.
Right.
And the people are traveling far hours at a time to get somewhere where they can smoke in public. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they need to work more on local issues so that they can allow these type of private clubs and stuff all over the state, and better tourist education versus trying to get weed and alcohol together.
I agree.
I think you get two issues when you bring that up, and I'm glad somebody touched on it as far as private clubs. But eventually, if you open up more private clubs, it's going to get to a point to where, okay, how many are too many?
Yeah.
You don't want to get to. I mean, it's cool right now. You got your 10, you got your 11 all around Colorado Springs. What happens when you have private club number 100? Then you're going to be looking at, okay.
Yeah, limiting licenses in certain areas and stuff like that, and review boards
Sure.
and things like that.
Think about it like the liquor store. There's a liquor store in every other store, and nobody's competing with each other. Why? Because they all get business.
That's right.
It's a good point. I think my fear in that is that it becomes stale. Now, granted, with liquor stores, there's a lot to offer, so that way there's less competition. But I'm thinking when it comes to private cannabis clubs, there's something to work with there. But we'll talk about that when we get back from the next break. This is Hash It Out on Let'sTalkPot.com.
We'll be right back after this. How you get that? Sure.
It's very bad.
Yeah, that went over.
Just my shirt.
Looking at it.
And then
Nice. Oh,
Thanks.
that's cute.
I brought you your shirt.
Oh, this.
That was yours.
Oh.
That was on the table.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Although I might get you a different one because I don't really like how the prints came out on those ones.
Okay. Yeah, check out Diablo on that first picture. I'm like, KI shirts. Didn't know they existed.
Yeah,
It's all
I
good.
told you I was gonna get them done.
That's all. I'm joking.
Right. And Michigan's a damn mess. I mean, I feel bad for families living in Michigan. And, the infighting in the industry and the lobbying and stuff. Yeah, it's getting better.
About how many hours away are you, Chris? Sorry, I was trying to
So-
debate Ben. My bad.
So they'll be here approximately.
For the meet and greet.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys gonna come here to the studio to be on the High Drive at 5, or are you guys gonna go to the Baby Bash meet and greet? Word. That's cool. Hey, you're gonna come straight and see the pimps, and you're not even gonna come straight to see me? That's not even cool, man. I'm gonna be at the meet and greet. Yeah, so that's not too far from the studio. Did Trey give you guys concert tickets? Where is Trey? Was he here earlier?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, we're supposed to be going with Trey and all those guys.
The jock, Mr. Trey. The jock is Mr. Trey. No, it's okay.
Doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean,
Oh, well, we're just trying to figure out.
I look at an alter ego thing.
Okay. Well, either way, I'll see you here at the studio then, or down at the Baby Bash thing whenever you get there, okay? I'm so excited, you guys. I'm happy you guys are coming. Heck yes. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
I gotta go. After the expo and then down.
I can't see what I'm doing. Hello? Hello? What? Do I keep getting stuck? Am I connected to you?
No.
Oh.
If you're looking for cake decorating tips,
Oh, here.
you've got the wrong baking station. K-High.
Hey, it's your girl. Oh, shit. Ugh. Hey, it's your girl, Miss Miranda. Yeah? No. Okay, hold on. Okay.
So it was complete.
Okay. Hey, it's your girl, Miss Miranda, and you're listening to Let's Hash It Out, your one and only weed radio station. This is K-High Radio. Let'sTalkPot.com, guys. You can check us out on YouTube. That's youtube.com. Sorry. That is subscribe to K-High, K-High. There you can check out all of our shows, including the live feed that is on right now. And the phone lines are always open, guys, so don't forget you can always call us. You can hash it out about whatever you want to talk about. The number is 719-591-5874. That's 719-591-KUSH. So, right before we went to the break, we were on the phone with Chris from Bay City, Michigan. He's our favorite caller. He is actually on his way here. It looks like he's going to be here in about 3 or 4 hours, so that is really cool. I'm excited to finally meet him and meet his girlfriend and his brother and everybody. And man, that's a long trip.
It is. It is.
They're gonna love it here, though. It's totally worth it.
It's a freedom ride. I mean,
Totally
the feeling of hope on your way here, and then the big, beautiful blue Colorado sky is opening up to you,
I
and then you
know.
see the mountains. And I've been with people seeing the mountains for the first time driving in, and they're like, "Are those clouds?" And it's like, no, and they realize it's
Really?
mountains, and they're like, "Holy shit!"
I haven't had that experience yet of anybody to see mountains yet, but I mean, I'm gonna be that way when I see the beach. I haven't seen the beach. I've never been to the
Me
ocean.
either. I'm going
I
to
know that-
California for the first time, never seen the beach.
That's what you were saying. I've never been there either. I'm dying to. I've heard it's like a whole other experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. My husband, he's kind of funny. He says the ocean. He says, if you dive in it, you really get salt like in your eyes. It really hurts, like really bad. He's like, there's really salt in it. I'm like, really? It's salt water. Ocean. Like, okay. I don't mean to throw him under the bus, but I'm just saying it's kind of funny. Anyways,
I must have missed the excitement. You threw somebody under the bus again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Weed. It happens.
That's okay. It happens.
we were talking about Chris and about how excited he's going to be to come in and see the mountains.
Oh, yeah. Whole different animal.
It is. And people talk about, like Manitou Springs, the springs have been a place of healing for hundreds of years. Initially with the Native Americans, and then the white settlers figured it out. And I send a lot of refugee families here, and they end up finding places in Manitou Springs. And it's still a refugee camp for healing.
You know what's so crazy is that growing up here, I always just heard the little wives' tales or the little haunted stories and stuff about Manitou and about all of the creepy stuff that goes on down there. So it always seemed kind of like the spooky, kind of scary place that you don't really go to. And then as I got older, we'd always go to the mini arcades down there. And right across the street from there is that wizard shop, the little metaphysical shop or whatever, with the big painting on the outside. It's so cool. I have always just loved going in there, just looking at all the stuff. I don't think I've ever even bought anything from there.
No,
But I just
I'm
always just go in there. It's just like good energy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then now as I get older and I'm learning more about it, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. I love it. Like everywhere I go, I'm like, oh, it's so neat. There's all these like little hidden stuff and like all kinds of cool things. I don't know. I love the fact that there's like the staircases that just like come out of nowhere.
I know.
And then just go straight up, and then there's a house at the top
I
of it.
know.
It would be so cool if there's your alcohol solver right there. Okay, try to get your drunk ass home on
It's
that.
like honestly, it's like Alice in Wonderland. No wonder. I mean,
Yes,
seriously,
it is.
It is.
I never thought about it like that.
Well,
Totally.
and we know that people in Manitou, they're a little freaky deaky. You know what I mean? And so
Hey, they're just more.
A little different.
They're free.
oh, it's lovely. It's wonderful.
It's all good.
Great energy. It's great energy. But yeah, I mean, Manitou Springs, Colorado Springs. When you come in here and you're seeing the mountains and you get to freely meditate for the first time, is the badass experience.
That's something that I can't. I had to think about this before I say it because I don't want to make myself sound really bad. But I guess just growing up here in Colorado is something that we take for granted. You know what I mean? Because we don't even think about the fact that we can. Like I took a picture this yesterday morning when I was driving to President's house when we were coming down here to the studio, and I was going to post it on Facebook, and of course I never did because I forgot. But got high. But it said, "This is my drive to work every day." And it was because I have to cut through Garden of the Gods to get to President's house. You know what I mean? For the past week, that's what I've been doing. So I just, as I'm driving, just took a picture, and I'm getting so mad at all these people because I'm in a hurry, and it's a long ass line with all these out-of-state people. I'm like, come on, you people! Like, I have the worst road rage, by the way. But then I kind of
drive through, and then you.
But then as soon as I hit the rocks, it's just like, damn, what am I even? I can't complain. Like, check it out, do it up, people.
I know.
Look at it.
I did the same
It
thing
is so
yesterday.
pretty.
I had to go for a drive in the mountains. I drove out to Wilkerson Pass. I just had to. Like, I'd driven through Garden of the Gods, just kind of mellowing out after the show and everything. And everything just relaxed. And then I'm going to go drive.
Have either of you guys been to the Smokers Bowl in Garden of the Gods?
Haven't.
No. So there's this hike. If you're a local here, then you guys can fill me on what I'm talking about here. There's a local spot, or it's a certain spot, I guess I should say, the trail that you can take. You park at one of the spots in Garden of the Gods, and you walk up a trail, and then you kind of cut off on your own little shortcut. You know what I mean? And you can go around these rocks, and you hike up, and basically you crawl into like a punch bowl of one of the caves of the rocks. But there's a section on the side of it where you can smoke out of the rock. and it's like a little like, you know what I mean, like a local thing. And so it's just like good luck or whatever. When you go there, you can smoke out of the rock, but when you leave, you always leave the bowl at least full and with a lighter or matches or something. So every time you go there, it's supposed to always be full. And so it's just like something you do to like, you know, welcome the next smoker.
Exactly.
I have to do that.
And it's actually really cool. I haven't been up there in a long time. I just don't know how to get there.
We should do that.
We should totally do it, but it is so cool. It is really neat. And like they tagged. Whoa, sheesh, breaking mics.
Yeah, no, that was mine.
But so, yeah, you can climb up and they have the whole inside of the rocks. They're tagged up and stuff like that. But it's, I don't know, it's got like a weird aura to it, and it's a comforting feeling. You know what I mean? And just being a local, that's one of the little secrets we got. You know what I mean? And it's not easily findable or whatever. You know what I mean? So
You don't have to be like mom, Tom, grandpa hanging out by the
No,
smoker
absolutely
bowl,
not. Like you
can
can climb up and look over the sides of the bowl, and it's breathtaking. It is so breathtaking. Because I mean, it's straight down drop for one, but I mean, just where you're at and what you're doing and how free you feel, and just the excitement and the beauty. It just, I don't know, kind of takes your breath back. It's great. You should definitely do it.
Absolutely.
Definitely do it.
Sounds like something on the list.
Heck yeah, man.
We should develop a list. The list you got to do when you come here, either as a refugee or as a
The Stoner's bucket list.
I get so excited. Okay. I love when new people come to town because I have so much fun stuff that I like to show them. I'm the ultimate tour guide. Okay, I'm kind of a dork. Okay, we already all know this. But
Okay.
so like there's the guy, Mr. Star Kemp, right there by was it Seven Falls?
Okay.
Okay. Instead of going straight, like you're at the entrance of Seven Falls. Well, instead of going in through the fence or going right up to Helen Hunt Falls, take a left and go into the little neighborhood. You go over a bridge, and not even, I don't know, I'm not good with measurements. I'm not going to try to even tell you how far, but just right over the little freaking bridge. Okay. There's a house you're going to come to, and it is the most amazing thing. It's like some for real Edward Scissorhands type shit. He builds these sculptures, and he used to build them, him and his wife. And I mean, when I talk about Edward Scissorhands, jaw dropping, amazing.
Yeah.
It is no joke about it. He makes these statues that are made out of complete like metal, I guess, and they all move and they all rotate and do something with the wind. So like he has this one where it's like a big bird, and it has these like huge wings, and then inside the wings are these two things like that drop down and they're peace signs, and they'll spin in the wind.
that's cool.
And then he has like these other big like windmill type things, and like it's just too freaking cool, man. And actually his wife died, and I guess around that time or something, the people of the Broadmoor area down there, they were protesting to get him to take his stuff down because they didn't like all of the people, because it's a one-way street kind of right there, so they didn't like all the people just stopping. But right in front of his house, like across the street, it's like a pull-off area. So it's hello. You know what I mean? Like they're just being, I'm sorry, Broadmoor people, but come on. Don't be mean just because you can. All right?
What is it you think that's in the air in Colorado, in this area, that people are so different? Like, you got Manitou Springs, Colorado Springs, Tesla was here inventing. Do you think it's like a mecca where people who think differently come, or do you think it has something to do with the environment? Or?
It could be a number of things.
I never knew what to think of that.
No, honestly, like, is it the running water? Is it the mountains? Is it the air?
It's got to be something to have.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's got to be something there. I mean, you're talking about Tesla invented things here. People come out here to clear their mind. I mean, think about America the Beautiful, a beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
That line was from Pikes Peak.
Yeah, it's inspiring. It is. And when there are other options when people go to California and Oregon and stuff, but when people come here, it's pretty special. It really is, and it's so cool. There's something different all the time.
I think it's just got to be a mixture of just everything. Because, I mean, you think about it, this is one of the few places where we can really drink water from the tap. You know what I mean? And it's not going to override our teeth with fluoride and, like, get it all crazy.
Well, there's 12 different natural springs of water that 25,000 years ago came down through the mountains. It's been filtered and, minerals added to, and everything right here in Manitou. You can just walk around drinking different artisanal springs.
I don't know. I think it kind of has just an overall feel of everything. Again, that's all I can think of, because even when you think about the creativity that comes from the people that come here, you know what I mean? And when I mean creativity, I'm talking about like the people in Manitou who will just play the guitar on the side of the street. Like it's that stuff that kind of like hypnotizes you in a way. It's like a very holistic type of zen.
As a local, how do you feel like it's changed? Has it gotten better, more interesting, a little bit more intense? I heard a lady telling me she felt like crime got worse. As a local.
Well, I could I could probably say all kinds of different stuff, but I think that for the most part, it's stayed the same. Just because we even think
you
about
get
this
along
for a second.
here, you don't, and if you don't, you leave.
Well, not necessarily that. It's just even like within the cannabis community, just the entire community itself. It's like everybody, we're all here together. You know what I mean? So we all might as well make the best of it. So like I was saying the other day, how you can drive down the street and just wave to somebody and they're gonna wave back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because here, why be a negative Nancy? You know what I mean? Nobody wants that. Just if you can be positive and produce that energy out there, then somebody else can pick up on that and it can.
Oh, it's collective, and happier people have healthier people, more productive.
Well, and I think too here people don't feel so judged.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, on many aspects, especially when it comes to the way they medicate or their parenting choices or their education, all of those type of things. I think it all kind of plays a factor.
You feel free. You definitely feel free to do what it is that you feel you need to do or that you want to do. Here, it's just something about this state. Love the fact that you guys brought up the bucket list I just put on the KI Facebook page. Let's start a stoner's bucket list. Amazing things you have to do or see as a stoner.
Yes.
Go.
Yes. Absolutely.
Go to the KI Facebook page. List one and light them up like we always do. Puff pass. Keep it going.
That's right. So it's the weekend, guys. So we'll be back next week. This is your girl, Miss Miranda Wrights. Let'sTalkPot.com. Your one and only marijuana radio station. It's K-High. See you later, guys.
Good, thanks, gang.
Thank you.
I'm gonna miss
Good stuff.
Thank you, guys. See you later. So I've just decided that you can't leave anymore. You just have to come here all the time with me. Because I can bullshit and talk with you all day long. I was seriously freaking out because I didn't know what I was